by God to distribute a booklet to every house in Britain. And he'd said to God, "Oh, I'm not an author, I'm a preacher." And God said, "Well, I've already asked 2 others and they refused me." He said, "Then I won't refuse you, I'll do it." And Reinhardt said he needed £7 million. But at this stage, just to buy the paper, he needed £1.5 million. And he'd been raising money for quite a while. And what then happened was he was preaching, and I felt God tell me, "Give him £1 million." And I said, "I know about advertising promotions, we do it with cars. That's the least effective way to distribute a brochure to every house. You can do it in the media for a fraction of that price." And so I managed to find out what Hotio, and I phoned him. I said, "Reinhardt, how much money do you mind telling me, have you raised?" "Well, 300,000. I said, "And you need £1.5 million by the end of the week?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Well," he said, "Well, there is a bit of a difference." I said, "Well, there's a lot of a difference." And finally, I just said, "Well, what happens if you buy the paper, spend the £1.5 million, buy the paper, and have a warehouse full of paper, and you don't distribute it? He said, "Well, I'm just trusting God." I kept asking him questions, and I'm sure he must have been getting irritated with me because he didn't know me. Finally, I said, "Look, I don't agree with what I'm about to do, but I feel God told me to do it. I'm going to give you £1 million." And he just said, "Thank you, brother," and put the phone down. But then he checked with one of his guys, and he said, "This guy has been on the phone, so told me this." And he said, "Oh, well, if it's him, he'll do it." And he did do it, and that was distributed. He finally raised the whole money. It happened throughout the whole of the UK. 70,000 decisions in the UK as a result of that. And one time he showed me afterwards the booklet, the follow-up booklet when someone wrote with a decision, and it came back with the words "deceased" on it. And he said, "We just snatched that one before they died."
Wow.
So that was one time where I did something I totally didn't agree with. Happily, I haven't had to do that very often.